Imagine for a moment that you're in a room of complete silence. Everything around you feels calm, still, almost frozen in time. But inside, there's a noise, a constant murmur that demands attention. This sound is your unconscious mind trying to convey something vital for your well-being. Throughout our lives, we often ignore this inner call. The world outside demands our attention. It's loud, urgent, and relentless. We get caught up in daily routines, social expectations, and chasing success, all while neglecting the most fundamental aspect of our existence, our connection with ourselves. But what happens when this disconnection starts to affect us? What happens when the inner noise grows louder, insisting on being heard? The renowned Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung dedicated his life to exploring these mysteries of the human psyche, and his message is clear. What you nurture within yourself shapes everything you experience in the outside world. There comes a critical moment in everyone's life, a moment when we must choose between our inner peace and the relationships that surround us. It's not an easy decision. From an early age, we're conditioned to seek external acceptance, to mold ourselves into what society expects, often without fully understanding these expectations. We're taught that keeping peace with others is an act of love. But Jung invites us to question this idea. How genuine is love if it requires sacrificing your authenticity? Every relationship we engage in leaves an imprint on our psyche. Some relationships uplift, inspire, and connect us to our true purpose. Others, however, drain us, make us feel insecure, and disconnect us from our essence. This emotional exhaustion isn't random or accidental. According to Jung, it results from a deep misalignment between our conscious mind and our unconscious self. This disconnect occurs when we ignore our inner signals, allowing external pressures to dictate our lives instead of listening to our own needs. Perhaps this has happened to you. You might be in a relationship that seems perfect on the surface. Others see harmony, stability, even happiness. Yet deep inside, there's a persistent feeling of discomfort and unease that you can't quite explain. That feeling isn't a weakness or a flaw. It's your unconscious speaking to you, signaling that something isn't aligned with your true nature. Ignoring these signals can lead to chronic dissatisfaction, a condition where you gradually lose sight of your desires and needs. Jung firmly believed that the unconscious doesn't communicate in direct language. It doesn't send neatly worded messages. Instead, it speaks through symbols, dreams, and emotions. When something or someone starts to drain your energy, it's not a coincidence. It's an invitation to delve deeper, to reflect on what part of yourself you're sacrificing to maintain that connection. Is it your peace, your self-worth, your authenticity? According to Jung, the real challenge isn't avoiding these situations, but learning to confront them. Analytical psychology teaches us that every conflict, internal or external, is an opportunity for growth. But to grow, we must first make the courageous choice to prioritize our inner peace above all else. This doesn't mean abandoning relationships entirely. It means learning to set boundaries, to say no when necessary, and to let go of what no longer serves us. Letting go isn't easy. There's a natural resistance to leaving behind the familiar, even when we know it's harmful. This resistance comes from our shadow, the hidden part of ourselves that clings to the comfort of the known, even if it traps us in cycles of suffering. Jung reminds us that true transformation happens when we face our shadow, not when we deny its existence. Integrating the shadow doesn't mean eliminating it. It means acknowledging it as a valuable part of ourselves. Every time you choose your peace over a draining relationship, you're sending a powerful message to your unconscious. You deserve better. The seemingly small act profoundly impacts how you see yourself and the kinds of relationships you attract in the future. When you align with your truth and honor your essence, the right people and experiences start to appear, almost as if by magic. One of Jung's most powerful insights is that relationships act as mirrors to our soul. Everything that fascinates, inspires, or even irritates us in another person reflects something within ourselves. This concept can be difficult to accept, especially when dealing with relationships that seem to be the source of our unhappiness. But Jung invites us to look beyond the surface and ask, what is this experience trying to teach me? When you feel trapped in a draining relationship, the most common reaction is to blame the other person. But Jung believed that true power lies in self-exploration. Ask yourself, why am I allowing this dynamic to continue? What fear or insecurity prevents me from letting go? These aren't easy questions to answer, but they are essential for unlocking personal growth. The shadow plays a crucial role here. Often, we're drawn to conflict-ridden relationships because those individuals represent aspects of our own shadow that we haven't yet integrated. For instance, a controlling partner might reflect your own lack of boundaries, while a critical friend might highlight an insecurity you carry within yourself. Recognizing these patterns doesn't mean accepting mistreatment. It means using these experiences as opportunities for transformation. Jung believed that personal growth occurs not in comfort, but through confrontation. This doesn't mean seeking conflict, but having the courage to face uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Choosing inner peace involves not only letting go of what doesn't serve you, but also confronting your deepest fears, fear of emptiness, loneliness, and change. Letting go is an act of immense courage, requiring deep trust that something better is coming, even if you can't see it yet. Releasing is a transformative step toward authenticity. However, letting go doesn't mean abandoning relationships or important situations. It means freeing yourself from what no longer aligns with who you're becoming. This process can be painful because it often involves shedding an old version of yourself, a part of your identity you once held on to. Yet, in that void where something has been released, lies the greatest opportunity to be reborn and rebuild yourself in alignment with your true essence. Carl Jung taught that choosing to let go creates room for new experiences, people, and opportunities. It's like tending a garden. Before flowers can bloom, weeds must be cleared away. This inner cleaning transforms your relationships and shifts your self-perception and view of the world. By prioritizing your peace, you begin to attract people and experiences that reflect your inner state. Choosing peace isn't about avoiding conflict or fleeing difficulties. Meaningful relationships often challenge us to grow and push us beyond our comfort zones. However, there's a crucial difference between relationships that help you become your best self and those that drain your energy and divert you from your purpose. The key is discerning between the two and taking appropriate action. Jung emphasized listening to your intuition, that quiet, knowing voice with your best interest at heart. Intuition isn't irrational. It's the language of the unconscious, a deep, ancient guide connecting you to your profound truth. To hear it, you must silence external noise, tune out distractions and expectations, and focus on your emotions, dreams, and subtle bodily sensations. These are the messages your unconscious uses to communicate what you need to know. Choosing peace strengthens your connection with your intuition. You are signaling to your unconscious mind that you trust it, value its insight, and are prepared to act according to your deepest truths. This decision not only boosts your emotional health, but also enhances the quality of your relationships. Being at peace with yourself provides the clarity needed to set boundaries, communicate effectively, and foster truly nurturing relationships. Jung extensively discussed the concept of the shadow, the hidden parts of us that we prefer to ignore because they don't fit the image we want to show the world. However, these suppressed parts don't just vanish. In fact, the more we push them away, the stronger they become, often surfacing in our closest relationships in ways we might not immediately recognize. For example, if you often find yourself in relationships where you feel undervalued, it could indicate a deeply ingrained belief about your worth that you haven't yet addressed. Perhaps at some point, you internalize the idea that you didn't deserve full love or respect. These unconscious beliefs act like magnets, drawing in people and situations that reinforce this painful narrative. But this isn't a punishment. It's an opportunity. It's an invitation to heal, reframe your self-view, and change the story you've been telling yourself. Jung challenges us to undertake the inner work needed to integrate the shadow. This is not an easy task, but is profoundly liberating. It involves observing our uncomfortable emotions, recognizing our patterns, and examining relationship dynamics. Instead of blaming others or circumstances, we must ask ourselves, what part of me is creating this reality? What can I learn from this experience? This self-exploration not only heals old wounds, but also breaks the cycle of repeatedly experiencing the same pains. Once you start acknowledging and making peace with these hidden aspects, something remarkable happens. The energy you project changes. Those who once challenged or drained you begin to lose their hold. This doesn't necessarily mean they change. It means you change. Your perception of them shifts, reclaiming your power. One of the greatest benefits of choosing peace is clarity. When aligned with your true self, you can more clearly see which relationships support your growth and which do not. This doesn't always mean abruptly severing ties. It involves learning how to establish healthy boundaries. Boundaries aren't a form of rejection, they're an act of self-love. They communicate to the world and to yourself that your well-being matters. Your authenticity is essential, and you are dedicated to honoring your inner truth. Initially, setting boundaries might feel uncomfortable, especially if you've spent much of your life prioritizing others' needs over your own. But each time you choose to honor your peace, you affirm that you are worthy of respect, balance, and harmony. As you continue on this path, you'll find that as you align more with your truth, the right people, opportunities, and experiences will naturally come to you. Letting go is never easy, but it's always worthwhile because beyond fear and uncertainty lies a greater life waiting for you, the one you were always meant to live. Jung reminds us that true growth often arises from discomfort. Every time you set a boundary, you're strengthening your connection with your authentic self and affirming your right to live in peace and alignment with your values. Remember, you're not alone in this process. Everyone faces challenges in their relationships and on their journey toward authenticity. Jung spoke about the importance of individuation, the process of becoming the person you are truly meant to be. This transformation is neither linear nor quick, but rather a profound journey requiring patience, self-compassion, and courage. Yet, every step toward authenticity creates a ripple effect, improving not only your life, but also positively influencing those around you. As you progress, you'll notice changes in the relationships you attract. People who align with your true essence will start entering your life. These relationships won't be without challenges, but will be based on mutual respect, support, and shared growth. They will inspire you to become the best version of yourself, rather than demand you sacrifice parts of who you are just to fit in. Jung also taught us about synchronicity, those moments when it feels like the universe is working in your favor. These experiences aren't mere coincidences. They confirm you're on the right path. When you choose inner peace and align with your truth, you experience more synchronicities, as if the universe responds to your decision to live in harmony with your inner self. As you integrate your shadow and prioritize inner peace, you'll notice something remarkable. Your perception of the world changes. Jung believed our external reality reflects our internal state. This means when you commit to inner work, heal old wounds, and align with your values, the experiences you attract will begin to transform as well. Perhaps in the past, you were drawn to people who reinforced patterns of emotional dependence or constant criticism. By confronting these patterns within yourself, you'll start attracting more balanced and fulfilling relationships. This shift doesn't happen by accident. It's a direct result of facing your inner shadows and reclaiming your authenticity. One powerful tool for this transformation is conscious reflection. Jung emphasized the importance of dreams and emotions as guides into our psyche's depths. The next time you experience conflict in a relationship or a persistent discomfort, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what emotion am I feeling, and what is it trying to tell me? What underlying pattern or belief might be influencing my response? Answering these questions builds a bridge between your unconscious and conscious mind, essential for a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Confronting these difficult questions instead of ignoring them strengthens your connection with yourself and the world around you. Jung teaches us that inner peace is not a final destination, but an ongoing practice. It's not something you achieve once and maintain effortlessly. It's a continuous choice requiring commitment and self-compassion. There will be days when you're tempted to revert to old patterns, to compromise in relationships or situations that don't truly align with who you are. In those moments, remember that every choice matters. Even the smallest steps toward authenticity have a significant impact. Another transformative practice is learning to trust synchronicity. When you choose inner peace and align with your truth, you'll notice how certain people, opportunities, and experiences arrive at exactly the right moment. Jung described synchronicity as a meaningful connection between seemingly unrelated events. These moments aren't random. They signal you're moving in the right direction. For example, after letting go of a relationship that no longer served you, you might meet someone who deeply inspires you or find an opportunity perfectly aligned with your values. These experiences confirm that your choices are creating positive changes in your life. Trust these moments and keep moving forward even if the path isn't always clear. Prioritizing inner peace and committing to personal growth also transforms the relationships already present in your life. Not all difficult relationships need to end. Some can improve significantly when you shift your perspective. By establishing clear boundaries, communicating honestly, and being genuine, toxic relationships can dissolve, paving the way for healthier connections. It's also crucial to understand that not all relationships are meant to last. Some people enter our lives temporarily to teach us lessons or reflect parts of ourselves needing healing. Letting go of such relationships is not a failure. It is an act of self-love. It acknowledges that you deserve to be surrounded by people who support, inspire, and celebrate your authenticity. When you align with your true self and prioritize inner peace over relationships that don't resonate, something profound happens. You reconnect with your purpose. Carl Jung described individuation as the important journey where a person becomes who they are truly meant to be. This process is neither simple nor always comfortable, but it is essential for a life of meaning, fulfillment, and authenticity. Individuation involves breaking free from external expectations, societal roles, and limiting beliefs accumulated over time. Instead of merely conforming to others' expectations, you explore who you really are and what you wish to contribute to the world. This transformative journey reshapes your personal life and significantly influences the relationships you choose to maintain. When aligned with your true purpose, relationships that no longer fit your path naturally fade away. There's no need for forced separations or conflicts. Connections that don't support your growth will naturally lose their place in your life. Simultaneously, you attract individuals who share your values and genuinely support your evolution. Jung also stressed the importance of balancing opposing forces within ourselves. Every person is a mix of contradictions, light and shadow, reason and emotion, intuition and logic. Inner conflict arises when we deny part of ourselves in favor of another. For example, you might be drawn to relationships that provide security but suppress spontaneity, or to people who challenge you but don't respect your boundaries. The path to inner peace isn't about choosing one over the other, but integrating these opposites into a harmonious balance that reflects your true self. Achieving this balance transforms your relationships. You no longer seek in others what you can't find within yourself. Instead of relying on external sources to fill emotional voids, you form relationships from a place of wholeness. A practical example of this is learning to listen to your emotions without letting them control you. Jung believed emotions are gateways to the unconscious, but cautioned against getting trapped in them. If a relationship consistently causes anxiety or frustration, instead of blaming the other person or suppressing your feelings, ask yourself what this emotion is trying to reveal. What part of my shadow is being activated here? Answering these questions helps you make more conscious decisions aligned with your truth. This might involve setting boundaries, having difficult conversations, or even letting go of certain relationships. Each time you act from this place of clarity, you strengthen your connection with yourself and cultivate an inner peace not reliant on external factors. Synchronicity, as Jung described, becomes more evident when you align with your true purpose. Choosing peace not only makes room for the right people and opportunities, but also sends a clear message to the universe that you're ready for better things. This faith in yourself triggers events that seem designed to support your growth and prosperity. For instance, after ending a toxic relationship, you might meet a mentor, friend, or partner who inspires and supports you in unexpected ways. These encounters aren't just coincidences. They're the result of prioritizing your emotional and spiritual well-being. Jung described this as an alignment between the unconscious mind and the external world, a sign you're living in harmony with your truth. Remember, this journey isn't linear. There will be days you're tempted to revert to old patterns or engage in unhelpful relationships. This is a natural part of the process and doesn't mean you're failing. Every decision, no matter how small, that prioritizes your peace contributes to a cumulative effect. Over time, these choices build a foundation of authenticity and well-being. Jung also emphasized intuition's crucial role in decision-making. We often ignore that inner voice because it doesn't align with logic or external expectations. However, intuition is the language of the unconscious, and learning to listen to it is key to living in alignment with your true essence. Prioritizing your peace heightens your sensitivity to intuition. You start recognizing patterns in people and situations, distinguishing between what nourishes your spirit and what drains it. This self-awareness enables you to build more meaningful relationships and make choices aligned with your purpose. A key concept in Jung's work is projection. The concept that everything you perceive in others, whether you admire it or find it irritating, reflects something within yourself. When you encounter conflict in a relationship, it's a chance to reflect on what these dynamics reveal about your own mind. By acknowledging and addressing these projections, you not only heal your relationships, but also the parts of yourself that need attention and care. Choosing peace isn't about withdrawing from the world or avoiding relationships. Instead, it's about fostering connections that reflect your true self. When you do this, the right people naturally come into your life, and opportunities that align with your purpose begin to flow effortlessly. This is the transformative power of living in your truth. Jung's message about prioritizing peace over any relationship is not just an invitation for personal change, it is a powerful tool for transforming the world around you. Each time you prioritize your emotional and spiritual well-being, you contribute to a more authentic, meaningful, and possibility-filled environment. Now is your time to act. Reflect on the relationships and situations in your life that may be pulling you away from your inner peace. Ask yourself, what can I let go of to make space for what truly resonates with me? Never underestimate the power of a conscious decision. Even a small step can lead to profound changes. If this message has resonated with you, I invite you to join this movement toward authenticity and self-discovery. Share this video with someone who needs to hear these words, someone looking for inspiration to choose their peace and live their truth. Together, we can create a community where Jung's teachings guide transforming lives. Leave a comment and let me know what part of this message touched your heart or what action you are willing to take to prioritize your peace. Every interaction, whether a comment, a like, or a subscription, helps this content reach more people seeking answers. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future videos. This is just the beginning of a conversation that has the potential to change lives, including yours. Remember, transformation starts with you. By choosing peace, you're not only reshaping your inner world, but also influencing the world around you. Thank you for being part of this community. See you in the next video. Your authenticity is the greatest gift you can offer the world.